the best state to work in as a travel nurse? Recently, Becker's Hospital Review posted a yearly breakdown of registered nurses' salaries across all 50 states, adjusted by cost of living. And this got me thinking about how travel nurses should choose their assignments. California, Georgia, Missouri? Unless you're the direct offspring of Gandhi and you've abandoned all interest in this world's pleasures, achieved enlightenment, and are now fueled solely by your unflinching sense of altruism, the main reason why you started traveling is most likely because it pays more. And if money is so important, then it only makes sense that we consider the cost of living in the city of your next assignment compared with your tax home. One of the perks of travel nursing is that we can enjoy a tax-free stipend. So, you should consider whether duplicating your expenses can benefit you. But beyond that, why should you pay attention to the cost of living before selecting your next assignment? It's simple, really. Higher salaries may not always mean much if you spend almost all your earnings to maintain your lifestyle. A great job finds that sweet spot between a competitive wage structure and affordable living costs. For example, the mean hourly pay for full-time staff nurses in the United States is about $42.80. And this is based on reports from the Occupational Employment Statistics Survey released by the BLS. Now, California records the highest average wage for registered nurses at, guess what? $64.10 an hour. Ordinarily, this sounds like an unmatched deal. Who wouldn't love to earn a massive $133,340 in a year? But hold your horses, okay? According to Becker's Hospital Review, nurses in Georgia who make about $40.95 on average are actually much better off when you factor in cost of living. Cost of living index. What is it? A cost of living index helps to track how much basic expenses rise over time. This number factors in essential items like food, shelter, transportation, electricity, other utilities, healthcare, and childcare. It is also used to compare the expenses from one town or geographic region to another. This index is one of the first things that you should check when researching ahead of your next travel assignment. And although the BLS does not officially publish cost of living numbers on its website, you can find out from third-party sources like the Economic Policy Institute and the Council for Community and Economic Research. Most indexes are set as a base cost of living, often represented by 100. An index below 100 indicates that the city or region is less expensive than the national average. So, from our example above, while Georgia has an index of 88.8, California sits way higher than the mean with this index of 142.2. Overall, a travel nurse's salary might provide a high standard of living in a small city in the Midwest compared to the cost incurred in a large city like San Francisco, Los Angeles, or San Diego. So you want to learn how to maximize your per diem rates. Next, you should consider the meals and incidentals and housing allowance for your prospective destination. On the GSA's official website, you can view the per diem rate that they will be able to provide as part of the tax-free reimbursement offered by your travel nursing agency. By analyzing and looking at all of these figures, with the cost of living index, you can make a more informed decision on where to go. Trust me, nobody loves crunching numbers, especially not nurses. However, if you wish to transform your finances and join the League of Nurses who have been able to massively scale their income, these figures have got to become your friend. Sure, you can get a financial advisor to help, but nothing beats knowing these details for yourself. Let me illustrate how you can use this information in choosing your next assignment location. Assume, like most people, that you live in the Midwest, in Texas, or in any southern state like Georgia or Florida. I'm using these states as an example because most of the nurses that I've met usually live in these states to take up travel nursing gigs in California. The question that you should ask yourself is, how can I earn enough to buy a house or pursue a capital-intensive project like a business or buying real estate? As of December in 2022, the median home price in the state of Texas was $316,400. That's much lower than the national average of $392,000. A typical household, though, in the state of Texas will earn about $64,034 annually. That's $1,678 less than the national median household income of $65,712. This is not too far away from the average nursing staff wage of $75,891 per year. Similarly, median home prices in Florida and Georgia as of 2022 were $403,000 and $367,000 respectively. I know we've been discussing a lot of numbers here, but stick with me. It'll make more sense in just a minute. The median household income in the state of Georgia sits at $61,224, while the average registered nurse pay is $76,658. Now, Florida also pays, despite what you think, a decent wage, as the average staff nurse salary is $71,922, and this is much larger than the state's median household income of $55,660. However, while Georgia house costs are 6% lower, Florida's prices are slightly higher than the national average. Although each of these locations has nursing salaries that exceed your average Joe, it's still not enough to buy you that house. So, if you live in any one of these states, your best bet may be to travel to a location with a higher reimbursement rate for meals and incidentals and lodging. A perfect example of a region that fits this bill is just California. For starters, let's take a look at the daily lodging and meals and incidental rates for 3 cities in this state. We got San Francisco, San Diego, and Los Angeles. These are the top 3 highest paying places in the state of California. The top 3 cities that travel nurses frequent are going to be San Diego, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Take a look at this table. Depending on the travel season, you see that lodging rates in San Diego and Los Angeles typically range between $161 to $186. Meanwhile, San Francisco offers a much larger rate, between $270 to $330. Now, California has the highest cost of living in the United States with an index of 142.2. However, the lodging stipend is the highest in San Francisco. So, the travel agency will maximize the pay package by allocating a large percentage of the contract bill rate to lodging and meals. Your job is to find ways to reproduce you're spending on food and find quality but cost-effective accommodation options that allow you to enjoy your travel assignment and keep more of that tax-free money. Now, here are some guidelines for managing the cost of living as a travel nurse. Just in case you got lost with all of that math and finance jargon, let me simplify everything that I said by giving you 3 simple rules to help you manage the cost of living at your next travel assignment and increase your savings. Rule number 1, live on a budget and keep your housing costs under control. Let me say that again. Rule number 1, live on a budget and keep your housing costs under control. Are you tired of hearing me emphasize budgeting every time I get the opportunity? Probably. And I'm going to make yet another video reminding you of how budgeting is the solution to all global crises and the recipe for world peace. Absolutely! Absolutely! Regardless of how much you earn from travel nursing or the cost of living in your city, you never be able to make much progress unless you are disciplined enough to work within a budget. When on an assignment, you must not buy or rent a home that comes with rent that's more than 25% of your monthly take-home pay. This includes duplicating expenses. Rule number 2, do your research. Next, you want to look for areas where the nursing salaries are higher than the national average. The cost of living is relatively lower and the GSA reimbursements are favorable. I've discussed GSA reimbursements earlier in this video and given examples with California. Ideally, the higher the tax-free stipends that you can receive, the better. These figures are readily available on gsa.gov. You can look them up anytime. Rule number 3, adopt a holistic view. Although earning a massive salary is excellent, money certainly isn't everything. Remember, your emotional and mental well-being is also just as important. So, consider factors as quality of life, availability of affordable housing, proximity to family or friends via the airport, and personal preferences when making decisions about travel nurse assignments. In the end, there's always a way to strike a balance that allows you to make a good living without compromising on the values that are important to you, provided you got access to the right information. And that's why I'm here. So hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on the best hacks to help you secure the bag and enjoy your career. This is Stronger Nurse Universe. Thank you for tuning in to another episode with your girl, Captain Amazing. Mwah! I'll see you in my next video.